Allen.
Thank you very much. Tell me, Gracie, any news from home?
Oh, well, yes, I just got a letter from my little niece, Jean.
What did she say?
Well, she didn't say anything. She didn't phone. It was a letter. She wrote it.
I mean, what did she write?
Oh, well, it's spring again, and my family's putting on a backyard circus, just like we did when I was a kid.
Every year you kids used to put on your own circus?
Yes. Of course, admission was free, but that was only for the people who could afford it.
That's because we're living in a democracy.
Oh, yes, isn't that nice? Anyway, well, my cousin Bonnie was the sword swallower, and what a performance he put on. You know, the kids would cheer when he'd stick his sword 4 feet long down his throat.
Could Bonnie really swallow a sword?
No, George, it was a trick. You know the scabbard that the sword fits into?
Yeah.
Well, before the show, he'd stick that down his throat. And then when he'd slide the sword into it, everybody thought he was swallowing it. Yeah.
It's a shame to fool the public like that.
Oh, but the admission was free.
Oh, I forgot.
Let's see, and Uncle Otis was the strong man. He'd come out in a leopard skin and put big nails in his mouth and twist them between his teeth until they bent.
That's quite a trick.
Yes, but he looked pretty ridiculous walking around with all those bent teeth.
Well, they might come in handy if he happened to get a crooked ear of corn.
Well, you live and learn. See, and Aunt Gertrude was the snake shop.
Oh, Aunt Gertrude, the one who was nearsighted.
Yes, she had a little snake, and she was supposed to put it in the basket and then blow on the flute till it stuck its head up. And what do you suppose happened on one Saturday afternoon?
She put the flute in the basket and blew on the snake.
Oh, wasn't that awful?
Must have upset her.
Well, George, it wasn't a real snake. It was just a few worms tied together.
Well, that's better. Who else was in the sideshow?
Well, see, one of the big hits was Uncle Javi and Aunt Clara.
What was their act?
Well, half man, half woman.
But weren't there 2 halves left over?
No, they both got into one costume.
Now I get the picture.
George, it wasn't a picture. They did it in person.
What was your part in the circus?
Oh, well, I was the lion tamer.
You were the lion tamer?
Yes, of course, I just used our house cat. And for 2 weeks before the circus, I taught her all kinds of tricks. To sit on a pedestal, to roll over, to play dead.
Sounds like a pretty smart cat.
Yes, but when she got in front of the audience, she forgot all her tricks and just had kittens.
That must have caused the sensation.
Well, it was. But what good was it? No, the silly cat wouldn't do it again for the second performance.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.